All right, so let's jump into NVIDIA today. They just released their Q2 earnings, and a lot of this is tied again back to the blockchain space, specifically to the miners. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to TechPath. We've talked about the miners before here. When I say the miners, meaning cryptocurrency, blockchain miners that are out there working the digits to basically mine Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those kind of things. Well, they need one thing to be able to do this. In most cases, is going to be a graphics card. And a graphics card is being produced by only a handful of companies. The issue with NVIDIA is you've got a lot of different companies that are vying for both chips and graphic cards. So you've got the blockchain industry, meaning mining. You've got the gaming industry. And then you also have the electric vehicle industry that all need NVIDIA's products and being able to ramp it up. Hence why we've seen such activity with NVIDIA stock. But I want to jump to this first story. NVIDIA's Q2 revenue rises 68%, but the crypto-related earnings fall short on expectations. So this was kind of the big deal, generating $266 million in revenue from its crypto mining cards, more than $130 million below its forecast earlier this year. So this was something that I think they saw coming in terms of the miners moving over and having to either, one, buy more cards or potentially deal with what we've been seeing in terms of supply and demand in the bull run that is just really now starting to heat up. So I think they thought, like a lot of people thought, that we would see the bull run and need a certain amount of mining capacity in a different period of time in which we've seen. So we've had about a 60 to 75 day, soft period of time that we're dealing with this. So that is, I think, one of the biggest issues that they're facing in terms of their overall performance. If you look at the story here, revenue was $6.5 billion for the quarter. Company said in its earnings, here's kind of interesting, net income almost quadrupled. That's pretty fantastic for 1 year. Now, granted, you've got all these things happening, as I've mentioned, but just to be able to quadruple revenue, yeah, that's just unbelievable. It's $2.37 billion from a year earlier. All right, so while sales of its graphics processing units helped drive revenue, NVIDIA fell short of its forecast, generating $400 million in revenue in the quarter for mining-related cards. That's just, I think, a miss, again, with where they're going. But overall, I think this company is on the right direction. There's something happening with this stock right now, and I want to get to the chart here in a second. Sales of NVIDIA crypto mining related products totaled 266, so they missed it by not quite half, about 40%. The company reported that, and then of course revenue from its data center and professional visualization platforms rose 35%, gaming 156% respectively from the second quarter a year ago, again gaming, while its gaming revenue increased overall 85%. So that's pretty big, but the share price fell a little bit on Wednesday, but then quickly jumped right back. But remember, there's a couple things that happened here. Remember, Hut 8 bought 30 million worth of NVIDIA cards, and that was just one of the, I would say, dozens of miners that are out there. So the likelihood of them being able to correct their miner shortfall because of the slowness that we had, that soft period in crypto, is going to potentially start to pick up, and we could see some steam moving back in that direction. Now, whether or not this affects their Q3, maybe their Q4 more likely, in terms of how these cards might be going to market. The other thing is the demand for the automotive industry is starting to pick up. You've got the gaming industry starting to pick up, especially around the NFTs and a lot of what we will see in blockchain gaming. All of that is playing right into the hands of NVIDIA. So that's a good sign. Let's jump to their newsroom real quick. And I want to just kind of, talk about a couple of things. One, they launched their NVIDIA Omniverse. This, of course, is a simulation platform. It's 5 years in the making that runs physically realistic virtual worlds. This could be something that is going to be moving both into the gaming side of things, but also into where I think what we might see is in the blockchain era of where NFTs and things like that can be exchanged in platforms like this in the metaverse. And the metaverse, I think, is going to be one of those growth categories of technology that we will really start to see for the first time. I mean, you got to remember, what was that? I'm trying to remember the virtual worlds that was around about a decade ago. And obviously we didn't have the computing power, we didn't have the blockchain, we didn't have a lot of the computer science that we needed to be able to really move in the platforms that we are now. This is moving in that direction with NVIDIA. Look at their fiscal 2022 summary. Q2 fiscal 2022 revenue coming in at 6,507. This is, of course, in billions. And then, of course, right here over Q1, 56. So you can kind of see the growth numbers are definitely trending up here on where they're looking to go. And then, of course, revenue also in non-GAAP in millions earning, and this is on per share. This is getting really solid, and I like what they did on diluted earnings. They're still looking at a nice uptick here. Lots of potential here of where this potentially could go for NVIDIA, and I think this is going to be something to watch very closely. I want to jump to, let's go over, kind of run up on these. All right, so we've got a sentiment bubble here that was August 5th through August the 11th. This is running at 60,099 and an amplification score at 5493. Again, this is how people are talking about trading NVIDIA online, mostly through social media. And then we saw this nice little run up. 54 is a decent amplification score, and usually that will indicate some positive movement, which is what we had. The next one that we had a chance to pull was this one right here on August 16th, or I'm sorry, August 12th. No, August 16th, that's right, August 16th. And then running this down to August 18th, which is where we are right now. This is up a little, 63.12, but what's impressive here is the 5708 amplification score, which starts to layer in the potential right here that we're seeing happen right now as we are filming this. NVIDIA has bumped above $200, really trading right around the $200 mark. So it's going to be interesting to see this trade out throughout the day and maybe for the week on whether or not NVIDIA's, though they've had a good run in terms of overall, I think the one concern people had was NVIDIA going to really have good expectations for the crypto side of things? It doesn't look like they are going to get hurt badly on this. In fact, I think just because of the revenue rising 68% in this, you just have to face that as the pure win for NVIDIA. Just their business is so diversified right now and where they're going. I just feel like this is one of those that's going to be staying around for quite some time. And it is one of the companies I think that is going to break out, especially when gaming gets really big in terms of the crypto space. And I think that is not very far away. And of course, NVIDIA is really right there at the right time. So it's going to be fun to watch. If you're listening in over on the podcast, make sure and tune in with both stars and likes if you're on Spotify. And of course, here on the YouTube channel, the best thing to do is share, subscribe. And of course, we love to hear your comments. So drop them in the comments below if you want a stock or maybe you're looking at a project. We really stay closely to tech. We will go to certain areas that are tech driven that might affect other areas of society, but like food tech, things of that nature. But really, innovative technology is really what we focus on here. Obviously, blockchain. You see it in the gaming industry, AI, which is going to be cool because we got a big one coming from Tesla on AI Day. So make sure and stay tuned. Come back here for that. Hit me up on Twitter @Paul Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.